The curtain came down one night ago at the old Wadey Miller Gymnasium, and tonight a brand new curtain comes up on this beautiful Wadey Miller Arena. Hello everyone, Lenny Robinson, Marty Flesher, glad to have you with us on the very first game for boys basketball here at the Wadey Miller Arena. Middletown Middies, Lima Spartans. Marty, your first impressions of this grand palace?
Well, I can't get over it. To be honest with you, I was a little concerned about how nice it was actually going to be, but it really exceeded expectations. I think this probably is a class in the state of Ohio right now.
You look around this fabulous palace, if you will, and everybody who comes in all of a sudden has forgotten about the old Wadey Miller. If you look up in the rafters, you see all of the banners that they took down after the game last night, and by 11 o'clock this morning, they were all up.
Yeah, you know, I really was concerned about it having a sterile feel to it. It doesn't at all. This place is so beautiful. The glass around the wrestling area, the new weight room, I mean, it is absolutely outstanding. The kids should really be proud of this, as well as a community.
It's rather interesting when you talk to the coaches, and especially the home coach, Darnell Hoskins. What did he tell us about playing on this very first night?
It's really not a home court advantage for them, right? They've only practiced here one time, so it's really a new gym for them, a road game, if you will, at your own home arena.
And we remember down at the old Wadey Miller Gymnasium when sometimes guys would take a long shot and hit the rafters. You can punt a football in here.
It is very spacious, and we're back to a full-size court now, too. So, again, if you have a quick team, this really helps you having this bigger floor.
If you haven't seen this brand new Wadey Miller Arena, it still carries the name Wadey Miller. We'll get into that later in the game. This is a spectacular place. The kids are loving it.
You know, we talked last night about how fitting to close the old gym with Hamilton and how fitting it is to open this new gym with Lima. Of course, Lima was in the GMC for years and years, so just a great way to reintroduce Lima back into the GMC and this new facility.
Back in the 1955-56 season we're talking about yesterday, Middletown beat Lima by 19 points in the very first matchup.
Yeah, this will be a little bit different contest, I think. Lima, by many people, are predicted to actually win their conference and go very far in the tournament.
They play in a very tough conference up north. Lima is a big team coached by Coach Q, they call him, Coach Simpson. He played for Lima in the old Wadey Miller, and his reflections of this space were amazing. He couldn't get over how good of a facility. He said the same thing you did, Marty. Probably the best place in Ohio.
And I really think it is, you know, to be honest with you. The seating is fantastic, and I know the kids are really happy about this facility. So it should be a great contest. Middletown will have to play a little bit better game than they did last night, but again, if they can compete, don't give up, they have a chance in the fourth quarter.
Tough loss last night against Hamilton, lost by 4, but tonight, brand new facility opens up. It's the Wadey Miller Arena. Marty and I have the starting lineups and tip-off of the very first game here coming up right after this from Pastor Ray Phillips at Stratford Heights Church of God.
Welcome you to Wadey Miller Arena for tonight's contest featuring our guests from Lima.
Hello, I'm Ray Phillips, Senior Pastor at Stratford Heights Church of God, right here in Middletown, Ohio. We're excited to be able to host this historical event this evening. Welcome to the game. Stratford Heights is as old as Middie basketball, having been around since 1915, where we started over on Clayton Street. And we've been spreading the good news of Jesus Christ to our community for over 100 years. And we're excited tonight to be able to host this live stream of this game and the historical event, changing out to the new auditorium. It's Christmas, and if you don't have a home church, well, I would like to invite you to come and be with us at Stratford Heights. We would look forward to meeting you in person. But in the meantime, well, let's get ready for the game. It's going to be a great night. I'm ready. How about you?
Welcome to the Wadey Miller arena where Coach Simpson was just introduced. There he is. He is the new head football coach for the Middletown Middies.
New introductions for the Middies as well here tonight with the...
Right now, I think they're going to introduce the Lima Spartans first. And
Ladies
then
and gentlemen, please direct your
we're going to do
attention
first
to
the
center court.
American flag as you take a look. Beautiful scene here at the Wade
Tonight is the
Arena.
start of a new era of Middletown
You
athletics.
can see this giant, beautiful flag coming down from the ceiling.
Miller Arena.
And their center spotlight
We have
is
a
Jerry
special
Lucas.
guest in the house. Please join me in welcoming Middie legend and all-time leading scoring scorer Jerry Lucas to center court.
As you see Jerry get a standing round of applause and an ovation.
We are proud
Marty,
to honor Mr.
this gives me chills.
Yeah, Lenny, it really does. I just can't believe it. They dim the lights just like a college facility would do here.
And what's interesting is with the LED lighting that they have here, and you can
live
see
in a great country with freedoms like no
the
other.
lights will come on in an instant, not like the old Wadey Miller where you have to wait a day and a half.
That's right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now it is time for Jasmine Thomas to sing our national anthem here at the Wadey Miller Arena.
Middletown High School.
So we'll go center court for our national anthem. Big round of applause for the junior Middletown singer. And the lights come back on, bright and bold, and to this beautiful Wade E. Miller Arena for the sounds of the Middie alma mater ringing through. And as you look through the stands, Marty, everybody is up on their feet for this grand old song.
Again, a packed house here tonight for opening night. A lot of new fans that we haven't seen in a while, a lot of older fans as well. So everyone getting behind this Middletown Middie basketball team and program.
If you have not been to the school yet, and this, I still call it the new high school when it opened up in 1969. If you've not been here yet, just to orient you to where we are, the Paul Walker Gym is on the left side of the court. And you can just see on the left side of your screen where it says Walker Gym. If we pan left just a little bit, you can see that the Paul Walker Gym is right behind the students. And so they dug this out. This was the grass area before you got to your parking lot where the annex was.
It's really a campus up here now when you think about the high school and all the renovations done to the high school, the new arena, of course, and now the new middle school will be connected to this building. So just a beautiful campus here on Real Boulevard.
They are introducing the non-starters. We'll get to the starters in a moment, but it is It is truly remarkable. Everybody I've talked with, when they come in, they take 2 steps in and just go, wow.
That was my reaction to it, quite honestly, when I first walked into this arena today.
And it is so spacious. It's so fan-friendly. They've got the athletic department in here. They've got the weightlifting performance center in here that looks over the campus. It's just amazing. So we'll introduce the starters for the Lima Spartans. 5'11" senior wearing number 1, Brian Miller, Jr.
5'10" junior, number 10, Amir Curtis.
Amir Curtis, number 10, is a 5'10" guard, is a junior.
Number 11,
And then Nas Cameron.
6'4" junior.
And he's been the surprise for Coach Simpson's lineup. Jatsiel Cologne is number 21.
Jatsiel Cologne.
He just got introduced. So we've also have Jaleel King, number 20. So that is your starting lineup. And now we're going to do the non-starters. But let's take a look now at the Middletown Middies lineup.
One of the greatest high school sports towns in the United States. And mini basketball is
Middletown, Ohio. One of the greatest high school sports towns in the United States. And Midi basketball has reigned supreme. 76 consecutive regular season wins. An Ohio record, 7 state championships, 2 national championships, 14 regular season titles, and state championship appearances. In Middletown, nothing is given. Everything is earned. You work for your keep. This is our house. This is our town. I used to wear those same uniforms, as did many other legends, such as basketball icon Jerry Lucas. But now it's your turn. Pride matters here, and that's why we must defend the M. Go Middies!
into Stallworth, and Lima right there to knock it away. So Lima in control, leading 2-0. Curtis down the court.
Coach Simpson really wants his team to get up and down the court every possession.
Lima 2-0 coming into tonight. They certainly got the height advantage when you take a look at 21 Cologne. Morris trying to guard. And the shot, it goes awry, but the stick back is good by King. No, it falls out, but he's fouled.
Boy, and Lima's just beating up Middletown on the inside. 2 and 3 second chance possessions. You just can't have that on the inside, especially when you have the height advantage.
At the line, shooting 2, Curtis.
So up the line, Amir Curtis, the sophomore. His team leads now 3-0.
Basketball has really changed over the years. You know, years ago, you would have never had freshman and sophomore players on the varsity roster. Now, every team that we've called over the years, you see more and more freshmen and sophomores really making an impact. And I think a lot of that is actually attributable to AAU.
It absolutely is.
All the experience they get.
So in the backcourt on the trap, Cameron gets the first foul for the Spartans. Middletown will inbounds. Off the fingertips, the officials look at each other, not sure who actually hit the ball. And they're going to give it to Lima.
Yeah, that's just a tough pass to try and make when you're on the sideline and try and make the pass to the sideline as opposed to the middle part of the court.
Marty, you brought it up in the pregame that this floor is 94 feet long, not 84 feet, as is the old Wadey Miller.
I don't think a lot of people actually realize that the old Wadey Miller court was so much smaller.
So Lima with a 4-point lead here in the first quarter with the basketball. Man-to-man defense by the Middies. They were able to force one 5-second violation last night against Hamilton. The dribble drive, and on the block is Stallworth. Holding his ground, the ball goes out of bounds, will go to the Middies.
Aaron Jones going to have a tough contest tonight going up against Curtis. That should be a great matchup to watch as we progress here this evening.
And look how Lima still stays in that trapping defense.
You got to keep it away from the sideline.
So Jones.
Over and back.
One of the problems last night you talked about was too much dribbling.
Yeah, 17 turnovers. You just can't have that. And there again, he just dribbled the ball out right at the midcourt line, bouncing right off of his foot for the over and back call.
Yeah, when the opponent in Hamilton last night had 8 turnovers. So now Lima goes out in front 6-0. Curtis with 2 more. He's got 4 points tonight, his first field goal.
Middletown's got to figure out how to break this full court press.
And now it's Powell getting across the line. Inside feed to Bailey. Bailey in the lane, nice hesitation. And they're going to call basket interference.
I believe Cameron grabbed the net on that call.
That's a good call because it interfered with the ball. It was on the rim. So first 2 points officially go to Juwan Bailey. And it's 6-2. Middies with the first points. There is the answer to your trivia question.
And the ball didn't even go through the hoop.
I know. Who is credited, not who scored, who is credited with the first 2 points?
Oh, great backdoor cut. Bad pass, though, by Curtis.
So the Middies, with 4:33 to play, find themselves trailing 6-2, but with the basketball and the full court press put on by the Middies. So Powell, cross court, kick out, down low, save, no, steps out of bounds.
Stallworth cutting to the basket, just couldn't get the pass to him. A bounce pass there would have worked perfectly.
So here's Shandon Morris to inbounds under his own basket. To a mostly sold-out Wadey Miller Arena. The ball is kicked by King. Stays with the Middies.
Tell you that, again, the Lima Spartans aren't real tall, but they are so quick and athletic.
Inside, Stallworth, double team, kicks it back outside. The 3-point shot by Powell. air ball, knocked out of bounds into Marty's hands.
See the quick hands?
He can still play. You know, it's different. We're sitting on the floor right now versus our upstairs perch.
You know, the other thing, too, when you take a look at the Wade E. Miller gym, you had that great backdrop for shooting. Here, it's so spacious. These kids are really going to have to adjust to this different.
Foul on the Spartans, Curtis.
So for the Spartans, Amir Curtis picks up his first foul, the second of the night for the Spartans.
But the backdrop is just so different here.
Jones, baseline dribbling, elevates to try to pass it inside, taken away out of there by Cameron. And here on the breakaway is Miller for two.
Layup, Miller.
Miller now with 4 points. It's 8-2 Spartans.
Picked the dribble up.
And a timeout taken by the Middletown Middies.
Good timeout.
Coach Hoskins not liking what he sees against that press. So you see Coach Q right there, as they call him, talking with the senior, number 21, Jatsiel Colin. But Marty, look around, and very few empty seats. Where last night it was standing room only. I think the weather may have played something. Lima brought several people down. As you just look left to right, just what an amazing facility. We talked about how this looks more like a college facility than a high school facility.
Well, it absolutely does. I mean, you take a look at the locker rooms, you talked about the wrestling room. I mean, everything looks truly like a college. When you pull up to the actual facility, it looks like a college setting.
Yeah. What have you done with Middletown High School?
I take a look at the Paul Walker Gym. Of course, that's where I played, and one of my good buddies, Bill Fly, is listening and watching tonight. And Bill was a great player for the Middies. I really helped develop him over the years. Under my tutelage, he became a very good basketball player. Went on to play at the University of Richmond. Was actually inducted into their Hall of Fame as a Spider. So if it wasn't for me, Bill would never have been the player that he is today, or was.
On the drive, Miller, baseline, kicks it back outside. Lima's got to track it down. They do save it. Wouldn't have happened in the old gym. Thanks for that extra 5 feet on that end. On the drive again, Miller, and before the shot, he's fouled by Middletown.
Coach Hoskins goes with Blake Marshall, trying to get a little bit more speed in the basketball game here to help break this press, full court press, that Lima has been so successful applying against the Middies.
Foul was on Powell, and that's his first, Middletown's third. There's a takeaway by the Middies. Down court, looking to get into the hands of Morris, and ball was just a little bit too far. Substitution. A little bit more about Coach Quincy Simpson. You were talking about AAU basketball. Great story between Coach Q and Coach Hoskins.
Yeah, actually, Coach Simpson and Coach Hoskins, their kids played together, and in the AAU program, Coach Simpson coached Coach Hoskins' kid during that AAU program. And they've known each other for many years. They actually graduated high school in the same year, so I know Coach Simpson was really excited to get here and play against Coach Hoskins.
Well, he says they're like brothers. They're very, very good friends, and he hopes this relationship between Lima and Middletown can continue. Shot is blocked, but they're going to call a foul inside.
Very different look.
No, they're going to say,
Foul
yes, it
is
is a
on
foul.
Middletown.
Very different look here with Lima versus Hamilton last night. Hamilton, very good motion offense, a lot of screens and pick and rolls. Here tonight, Lima, they're just trying to go off of one screen and take the ball straight to the basket, trying to utilize their quickness against the Middies. And so far, it's been very successful.
Stallworth picks up a foul, and he'll take a seat. Meanwhile, for the Spartans, Jaleel King dropped his first free throw, and his second is good, and that's what hurt Middletown last night when yet Hamilton was, 15 out of 17, 16 out of 18 like that?
They were, and again, when you get down to a good basketball team like that, and they knock down the free throws, it's going to be a long night for you.
And right in front of us, they call that a held ball. Bailey was being double-teamed.
And much like last night, anytime the ball goes inside, they have 2 and 3 players running to that inside post player. If you can just turn and look for the open spot on the floor, you should be successful.
Bailey shot his block, and here comes Miller the other way. He's good on the breakaway, but puts up an air ball, and on the rebound, a foul is called.
I think that's on King over the back of Powell.
Foul on the Spartans' King.
3 fouls apiece tonight. King's first for Lima. Ball taken away, knocked out of bounds by Miller. Boy, is he quick.
Boy, he really is quick, and they come from all directions. When you get that basketball in turn, you better secure it and be strong with it.
So Cameron comes out to get a breather. This freshman is good looking, and he was the surprise player on this team for Coach Simpson. He goes, out of everybody we have, I never thought I'd be starting a freshman, but he's done everything right. Almost a strip by King. Lima's got to play some tough teams up in that northwestern part of Ohio in the trap conference up there.
There's the double team at half court. They're going to trap you all over the court.
Ball is swatted away by Cologne, and Marshall's going to go up to the line to shoot 2.
A nice take by Blake Marshall, drew the foul against Cologne. But again, you could see once Middletown broke the half-court line, that pressure up top, trapping on every pass.
Marshall misses on the first. Must be in the water here in Middletown because we've been a poor free throw shooting team for years and years.
I think the last really good free throw shooter that I've been around at least was Allen Roberts. And Vince Edwards is really good as well.
Marshall, 1 for 2.
Marshall gets his first point of the night. It's now 10-3. Lima on top with 2:20 to play in the first quarter. Ball stripped away by Williams. Here's Jones. Crossover dribble. He's going to take it to the hoop, and he'll go up to the free throw line.
He's able to get around number 10, Curtis, that time. Took the ball again, strong to the hoop. Middletown's going to have a tough time running their offense because of this trapping Lima defense up top, and anytime they drive to the basket, they have the weak side defender coming over, so it's going to be a really tough task for them to execute on the offensive end.
So Jones' first shot comes at the free throw line. He makes the basket.
Jones, 2 for 2.
So the Middies' points tonight have come 1 field goal made and 3 free throws. It's 10-5. All alone on the backside. Nice shot by Cameron.
Layup by Cologne.
They're going to give it to Cologne.
That's
There's
just
a
a
strip
bad
there
pass.
by Lima, yeah.
Got to be a better inbounds pass, and you have to be more aggressive going after the basketball.
Greg Johnson off the bench for his first 2 tonight. Bailey, right side.
Bailey out of
offensive
control.
foul.
He's trying to do a little too much with the basketball. Yeah, we're almost a quarter in, and Middletown has not had an actual shot go through the basket. Free throw attempts, but not a shot from the field.
I was here for the freshman lady Middies game, and it was Middletown 34 and Cardinals 2.
Oh, goodness.
I hope it doesn't go this way tonight. Curtis driving to the basket over Stallworth, and Stallworth can't track down the rebound. Curtis resets. Inside feed, Stallworth goes to work. The turnaround, no good by Cologne, and out of bounds.
Just no boxing out.
Foul call.
As soon as the shot goes up, they're going to the basket as opposed to just trying to box out the defender.
So the foul called against Middletown, and this goes against Keon Williams, his first foul of the night. 5 fouls for the Middies so far here in the first quarter. At the line is King, and he's now 3 out of 3 from the free throw line.
Checking in for the Spartans, number 1, Miller.
I like the new unis.
I like the new unis.
You know, the only disappointment I had last night with the throwback unis, They weren't mid-thigh high.
Oh, thank
They were
goodness.
satin. With 1:09 to go, Lima's got an 11-point lead.
You can't beat the press dribbling the basketball. You can't beat the press throwing the ball all the way across court unless you have a player coming to the basketball.
Foul on Middletown's number 2, Morris.
So a timeout being taken by the Middletown Middies. They trail 18-5. This is a full timeout, so we're going to step aside and be back right after this.
Middletown Middies, Instagram at Middletown Middy Athletics, Snapchat Middletown Middies, Facebook Middletown Middy Athletics, or on the website.
Protecting your financial assets is our top priority, and we've been keeping that promise since 1921. In these uncertain economic times, you don't have to sacrifice coverage to receive excellent service and competitive rates. Moon & Adrian Insurance welcomes the opportunity to educate and guide you. Improper coverage or insufficient limits can destroy a family's financial well-being. Moon & Adrian, local agents you can trust, local agents you can count on.
For more information, visit moonadrian.com.
$16 seconds to
Someone's
play.
got to be cutting to the middle.
On the drive, Jones elevates, puts it all over everything, goes out of bounds off of Lima.
Middletown basketball.
So 9 seconds to play here in the first half of action, or first quarter of action. Juwan Bailey comes back in as Williams takes a seat. For three, this is number 3, Deontay Powell.
Great shot by Powell. Gathered his feet, took his time, knocked down the three-point shot.
So at the end of the first quarter of play, Middletown trails by 12, 23-11. This is Middletown High School basketball, courtesy of Stratford Heights Church of God. And tonight's game is presented by Miller Arena. And joining us now, gentleman who was with us last night. Sad to see the old Wadey Miller go. And Coach Jay Byrne, what do you think of the new place?
I did a self-guided tour this morning so I could know what I was talking about. This place is incredible. I came in at about 11 o'clock, just walked around before the girls' game.
And you hadn't seen it?
I had seen it. I walked in and was like, wow, this place is absolutely incredible.
How long did it take you to come to that conclusion of wow?
Actually, when I was coming in the glass doors outside and you could see the big scoreboard over in the corner, it was absolutely amazing.
Doesn't this just give you the feel of not high school?
Yeah, this is a college type gymnasium with all the goodies that they have and how it's laid out. And these kids should feel special about playing here.
On the backboard cut, you've got Jaleel King now with 5 points tonight, his first made from the field, and it's 25-11.
Well, Jay, do a little coaching for us right now with Lima's full court pressing defense. How do you break that?
I think they got to get somebody in the middle.
Right.
They don't have anybody in the middle to break the press consistently, and they got to have patience. I think they're afraid of, I got to get rid of the ball. And I do drills in practice where you got actually 12, 14 seconds that you can hold the ball. You can hold it for 4 before the count, dribble 4, hold 4. So they got time, and I think they're panicking a little bit.
We used to practice breaking the press without taking a dribble.
We used to do, and it's tough to do. And I know Darnell's doing a great job with it. He's got a lot of young kids. But I knew tonight would be tough. Lima's a very, very good team. Lima's back to where they were in the past.
Well,
and the other thing is,
Simpson and
oh my
that was
goodness, incredible. But then you add the emotion of the game last night for the Middletown kids and the emotion of opening this gym. That's very tough on them.
Almost taken away by the Middies. Lima with a 14-point lead as we start the second quarter of action.
What I liked about Coach Hoskins' team last year as well as this year so far, they never give up, never quit. The effort definitely is there. You can see that.
Yeah, and it'll be a matter of time. He says he's got some good young kids coming up. It's a matter of building the program. And I'll be honest with you, I think it goes way back from when the youth program was dismantled. And it was dismantled back when I was here.
I agree.
And they never recovered. And, you know, you got to have the youth program going. They used to have 2 teams in every elementary school. Mark Kearns did a great job of getting that going back in the youth programs. And then they cut a bunch. And that's when they cut the 2nd, 7th, 2nd, 8th grade, and sophomore team. You take all those opportunities for kids to play and get better, that's tough to overcome.
Well, let's be honest, at that age, you don't know who's going to develop and become a really solid player.
Oh, yeah. We used to give them 2 weeks of practice plans. We wrote out their plans. They had 14 days of practice plans for the youth program, and they ran it every time, so we knew what they were getting.
When you're seeing Middletown throw the ball cross court in this backcourt trap, you're right, they need to get someone in the middle, because right there's a 10-second turnover.
If nothing else, at least come meet the pass. You always got to go meet your pass, and they're standing and waiting, and Lima's too good a team and too athletic to sit there and wait on it.
They have that weak side defender coming every time, just stripping the ball away.
Aren't you impressed with the speed of Lima?
Oh, this reminds me of those old Lima days with Simpson and Lyles and all them, when them and Lakota played in the state semifinals.
Yeah.
Timeout being, or turnover rather. So Lima with one of their few turnovers, unforced errors, it's Middletown with the ball, but with a 14-point deficit with 6:20 to play here in the first half. Thrown right into the hands of Miller. And Middletown's going to be lucky to come away without a basket, but they have a foul called on them. Let's see who they're going to whistle. And it's going to be against Blake Marshall, his first. That's the 18th foul here for Middletown in the first half. Jay, walking around this facility, it is absolutely breathtaking. And what they did by bringing all the banners from last night to tonight.
It's great. You can't ever forget the history. You just build on it and make your own. And that's what's nice about here. You got the banners, you got the trophies around, you got all the great players, the Lucas and Carters and Aldridge and all them, so people know the history.
Middletown did a good job of breaking the press, bringing it up court, but almost threw it away inside the stalwart. Double team, turnaround off the glass, no, rebound by Middletown. He can't hang on to it is Morris, so here comes Lima.
And again, this offense is so different than Hamilton's last night. They want to make one or two passes and take the shot. Hamilton much more efficient last night with their offense as far as passing the ball around and getting really wide open and good looks.
So another foul called against Middletown, and that'll be foul number 2 against Keontae Powell. Coming out of the game is Chris Stallworth. The timeout being taken by the Lima Spartans. Tonight's game is being presented by Moon and Adrian Insurance and American Savings Bank. American Savings Bank has been a sponsor of Middletown throughout its history, which dates back to 1889. If you can see right there, Fred DiBiase, Betsy Rossai, or Chuck Barton, some of the leaders of American Savings Bank. If you need a residential mortgage, a commercial loan, a good place, a safe, secure place for your money and investments, American Savings Bank. You can visit them on amsavingsbank.com. That's amsavingsbank.com. American Savings Bank, with 2 locations in Middletown, on University Boulevard and at Elliott and Roosevelt. Lenny Robinson, Marty Flesher back with you, and Jay Burr with us here in the second quarter. And Coach, isn't it amazing the forethought that they put into this, not only from a fan perspective, but from a coaching perspective, all the niceties that are here for the players?
I'm telling you,
you want to get back into coaching.
This kind of makes you want to get back into it. But I tell you what, there was nothing like Wadey Miller Gym either. I mean, I think both places are extremely special. But this is, you can't ask for anything else. I mean, you got 4 scoreboards, the backboards are the NBA-style backboards. The other thing is, this is a 94-foot court. That will help them come tournament time, because that's what the college plays on.
Right. Well, and what Coach Hoskins told us before the game is there's some scoring issues, and they're checking that out right now, is, and you will agree with this, not everybody wants to be playing their best basketball at the start of the season.
No, you really want to get better as it goes on. You want to win every game, but that's a hard to do. You just want to make sure that you're getting better each game. We used to not talk about winning. We used to talk about we got to get better for that next game.
3-point shot is good for Jermaine Daniels. It's now 32-11 as the slaughter continues here at the Miller. Marshall takes it all the way, too strong. Nice rebound offensively by Bailey, and he's fouled and will go up to the line. But yeah, when you look around here, and the one nice thing that Coach Hoskins said to us last night, Jay, was we have to remember what hangs in the rafters. Talking about the old Wadey.
And you know what? He's right. That's also a lot of pressure, because Middletown is basketball in Ohio. And that's a lot of pressure on coaches and players to live up to that. But they just got to remember, do the best you can and then just keep getting better.
Juwan Bailey has 1 basket made from the field, misses 2 free throws there. And Jay, I don't know how you get kids to shoot better free throws. There's a big 3-point shot put up by the Spartans.
I'll tell you that they're just too quick for Middletown here tonight. You got to find your man on defense, who's having trouble across the board.
And on the backside putback, it won't go. Pulled out of there by Jones for Middletown, and he's fouled. You know, Jay, as a coach, and you look on the floor, and you've only got 1 returning varsity player in Juwan Bailey, you know it's going to take some time.
It is, and that's very, very tough to do. You do the best you can. You just tell them, let's get better each game, be competitive. You know, I thought last night they were very competitive, and the other games they've done well. But Lima's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
They're really good. Mistake. You know, I've seen a few other games and scrimmages, and Lima's probably one of the top teams I've seen so far.
Well, Coach Hoskins and Coach Simpson go back a long ways. And Bailey can't hold on to the dribble.
Coach Simpson actually told us tonight, Jay, that he's missing his best player, the freshman guard.
Yeah, he told me he's got a lot of good young kids and just got to have a little bit of patience and keep working hard. You know what? As long as those kids do the best they can and play as hard as they can, that's all you can ask for them.
Pulled out of there by Marshall for Middletown, looking to get some points on the bar. Here's Williams. Into the hands of Jones. Jones shot off the glass, no good. Rebounded out of there by Curtis for the Spartans. Now Miller up court. Here's Claire. Claire in the lane. Little floater goes.
Basket, Claire.
37-11. And you've noticed that Lima's pulled out of their backcourt pressure. Marshall, 18-footer, no. Rebounded by Claire for the Spartans. Nice down pass leading in, and count the bat, or are they going to say before the basket?
Middletown's really just gotten out of their offense, and now it's just if you can break half court, dribble and shoot as opposed to trying to run some type of an offense.
2 fouls now for Blake Marshall. The one question I want to ask you, Jay, is do you think that Middletown is a little slower than Lima because of the 2 locations of Milton's Donuts, and they can get them anywhere?
You know what? We provided donuts for them this morning. I told Darnell, you guys got that's a tough, emotional night last night. They were a little hungry. I said, come on in, we'll give them some donuts.
Well, if you want to taste some of the best donuts ever, go to Milton's Donuts. If you want to play basketball and be fast, wait till after the game.
If you want the best donuts, go to Milton's.
How's that going for you, by the way?
It's going well. You know, we opened the second store over in Carlisle. We were voted 3rd sweetest bakery in America in the contest, and then we're also voted #1 in Ohio, so that's pretty daggone good.
Really good.
They give you a ring for that, or just an extra napkin?
They're going to do a presentation, I think, the 22nd of December at Milton's in Middletown. They'll come in and do it, yeah.
And a nice put in by Keontae Powell. 37-13, Middletown trails.
Yeah, Keontae Powell, the junior, really is a nice-looking basketball player.
You know, maybe what we ought to do, Jay, is you could have a little kiosk here. There's so much room. You could have a Milton's Donuts kiosk.
That's a good idea. You're a businessman. We can tell that. You had asked earlier about free throws. You got to put pressure on them in practice. There's got to be a consequence in practice. You miss, you run, because they don't like running. The other thing is, it's more difficult to shoot in this gym because there's no backdrop.
Well, we talked
I was talking about that earlier. It's
Coach
so
Hoskin.
different. It really is.
And he said tonight is going to be like a neutral court. They've only practiced here once.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. That's why teams struggle when they go to UD Arena and play in some of those that don't have that backdrop wall right there close to judge
I used to always love the backdrop at the Paul Walker Gym. You're right. You go to Miami University or UD, very different environment.
Powell connects on his 2 free throws, 37-15.
I was lucky. I watched the ball when I shot. I did what you weren't supposed to and what you don't teach. I watched the ball, so it didn't matter to me.
Well, if you watch me shoot a free throw, I do absolutely what they don't teach.
Shoot it.
Touch it. So Middletown with 2:40 to go here in the first half trails 37-15. Lima comes out and meets him at half court. There's the strip. Here's Daniel taking it all the way. Jermaine Daniel now with 5 points. Ball will stay with Middletown Middies.
On the offensive end, you just don't see a lot of really strong B cuts, you know, going in, taking the defender inside and trying to play on the backside.
They're not setting their man up. They're not meeting the passes. But that's tough. They're young kids. They're inexperienced. I mean, that's tough. That's going to take time, and Darnell does the right things, and they'll be good by the end of the year.
It's like in football. How much do you make it vanilla on offense or defense just to get them to be in the right position?
It's a process, and, you know, unless you've got 4, 5, 6 guys returning that are studs, you got to have patience and make sure they're doing the right things.
Well, the nice thing to remember is next year he's going to have a lot of returning players. And 2 years from now, and 3 years from now.
He sure is.
Well, when you start a freshman, that's pretty special here at Middletown. As you said, basketball is king. Almost a strip, and it is by Aaron Jones. Jones. And he's fouled by Deshaun Clare as he brings it up.
Well, you know, Jay, I brought this up earlier talking about freshmen and sophomores playing at the varsity level. Back in our day, freshmen and sophomores really never played varsity basketball. Do you think the AAU program has advanced these kids where they can participate, be competitive at the varsity level?
I'm not a big fan of AAU, only from the standpoint of the fundamentals aren't taught. I think playing-wise, the kids, if you get in a playground style, it really helps them. But I think there's a lot of things. There's too many other things to do. When we were growing up, you went out, you played in the backyard football. You went up and played at the school and played basketball. You did those things. Now they got Xbox and all these games they can play and all the other stuff, and it's not just about playing high school sports.
Big battle underneath, and Lima gets 3 rebounds and makes it count. I believe that's Cologne that's credited with the 2. Oh, they're going to give it to Cameron now. Now it's Cameron.
We talked to Coach Mueller a few years ago at Lakota West about AAU basketball. He couldn't stand it. He said, my kids will get more coming to my gym every day, practicing and working in my gym as opposed to playing the AAU system.
Yeah, and I think the bad thing, Ohio High School Athletic Association, when they went through that 10-day rule limiting coaches, now you put it in the hands of people not qualified doing it. So it's a necessary evil to play AAU, or that's where recruiting happens. They don't call high school coaches anymore.
Stallworth's shot was blocked, but he was fouled. But one thing that Marty said, remember, I'm going back when I was here at the new high school. Freshmen were still in junior high. There was no 9th graders at the high school. There were none.
We're getting old.
Yeah, but those Milton's Donuts keep you healthy.
I tell you what, they are so good. I brought some for the staff here. I told them, they said.
You brought some for who?
There's the staff. There's some up there in the athletic office.
Oh, there we go.
Marty and I are
They
sitting
didn't
here.
tell you?
So Stallworth is 1 out of 2 from the free throw line. It's 43-18 with just over a minute to play here in the first half. A nice strip again. That's the second of the night for Morris off the glass and 2. Excuse me, by Jones. Well, Jay, a pleasure as always. Glad you made it last night as well as tonight. Glad your impressions are what we thought they might be.
If you're out listening and watching online, you got to come see this gym and watch these kids.
Absolutely.
These kids need more support this year because of the inexperience, and they have it. When you're winning, it's easy. Now's when they need the support, but this place is beautiful.
And they're really easy to support because they're good kids and they compete.
Yep.
Cross scoring over to Marshall. Marshall cross dribble. He's being double teamed. Gets out of it. Inside to Stallworth. Out top. Here's the three-point shot. It's good.
Nice pass by
Aaron
Stallworth.
Jones.
Great recognition of the situation. Made the pass for the easy shot.
So Aaron Jones, 12 points tonight here in the first half. It's a 20-point lead for Lima with just under a second to go in Middletown. Stallworth is going to be whistled for his 3rd foul. Jay Byrne, as always, a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Great seeing both of you.
Thank you.
They're going to call that on Jawan Bailey with 4/10 of a second to play. 2 fouls for Bailey. So Lima makes a long trip down I-75, and they take the lead of 21 points into halftime. It's 44-23. This is Middletown High School basketball presented by the Stratford Heights Church of God. Lenny Robinson and Marty Flesher, we just talked with Jay Byrne. And Marty, it's true. When you come around here and you look, you don't feel like you're in Middletown, Ohio.
You really don't. I mean, again, it's just a great facility. The one thing that we didn't talk about is the trophy case at the far end. For so many years, those trophies were just in the basement of the gym, so it's nice to see them bringing the trophies back out.
They brought all of the trophies out to the new facility overnight, got them all polished up. The jerseys are in there. All the banners are here at the facility, and this is just a fantastic place. So here are the Firecrackers. We're going to watch them here at halftime for a little bit of entertainment from these young dancers, and you will thoroughly be entertained.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Firecrackers!
ourselves if we attempted just one of those.
I can't even get one jump in.
Jim, you and I graduated from this grand institution back in 1970 something. We'll say 72.
72.
And last night had to be kind of special for the family of Walker.
It was great because for both my brother and I, we'd spent so much time in that gym. We played there. I spent every afternoon after school growing up there, so it was definitely my second home. So it was a great atmosphere. It was also great to see a lot of the old players and coaches and everybody that was involved. So it was a great tribute, great night, and great gym, but time moves on.
Well, one of the nice things is, Jim, when you look across the way at the other side, up there twice, you see Paul Walker Gym.
Yeah, I saw that when I walked in. I was a little surprised by that tonight. So that's a nice tribute inside of this brand new arena. So that's really cool.
What do you think your dad would say if he walked in here?
Well, I think he'd be awfully impressed. Just the amenities and just the commitment to the high school, to the community. And I think that was something that was always really important to him, was how much commitment there was in the community to the Middies. And so this is just another example of that.
Well, Jim, when you look up at all the banners they brought down from the old gym to the new, center in that was your dad.
Yeah. So that's, again, it's awfully special. So snapping a few pictures of that and show the grandkids.
You know what's nice is the nice thing about Middletown is the legacies. I mean, just from not only from your dad, but all the players that Shelby Linville before your dad,
right.
Still highly regarded, but all the players. I mean, we had Vince Carter or Vince Edwards here last night.
Right. Yeah, I had a chance to talk to Vince for a second last night. And although I'm an IU guy and he's a Purdue guy, I appreciate what a great player and how he represents Middletown. And his grandfather, Grant, played for my dad.
Oh, sure.
So it was awesome.
And I always liked your dad. If he had a fast team, he always put up those bad old rip nets so the ball could
you got to slow things down a little bit for your side. Maybe change those nets at halftime too.
Well, Tim, I appreciate you stopping by. What a magical weekend this has been.
Yeah, it's been great. I really appreciate the administration here and the athletic director and the principal letting us be a part of it. It's been great.
Jim Walker has been our guest here at halftime. Jim, so good to see you as
Thanks,
always,
Larry.
my friend. Congratulations. So the Middletown Middies, Marty, they trail 44-23 as they start the second half. And the statistics, well, the score kind of speaks for itself.
Lima shot 44% in the first half on 39 shots. Middletown shooting 31% on only 19 shots. Talk about the turnovers from last night. In the first half for Middletown, 14 turnovers, 7 for the Lima Spartans. So again, the turnover train continues here tonight. But as we've talked so often here in the first half, Middletown is just so young, so much youth on this team against a very good Lima Spartan basketball team. Each night you have to try and build and grow, and I think today will be a great learning experience for these Middies. If they continue to compete, stay aggressive, even if they come up on the short end of the score, you should be able to take something away from this night.
Well, as Coach Jay Burns said when he visited us with us here in the first half, is they need the support now. They are young. You're playing one senior, and then you have freshmen and sophomores getting the start here. And what Coach Hoskins told us last night, if I've got a senior that maybe is okay, but I've got a freshman that's really got a lot of potential, I'm going to go with the freshman.
Well, I think that's right. And, you compound that with the fact that Lima, by many people, they're expected to go pretty far in the tournament. So you're playing a very high caliber basketball team here with a very youthful Middletown Middy team.
So as we're into the third quarter of action, we remind you that tonight's game is presented by the Stratford Heights Church of God and sponsored by American Savings Bank and by Moon and Adrian Insurance.
That ball stripped by Miller, those quick hands.
Taken away by Aaron Jones of the Middies. Driving down the right side in the lane in traffic, puts up a ball high in the sky and rebounded by Jastel Cologne.
Aaron Jones, a very good basketball player, but if you're going to take the ball on the inside like that, go ahead and take it right to the defender with his arms up there. Go ahead and be aggressive and try and draw that foul.
So the foul whistled against Stallworth. 3 fouls for him now. 7 minutes to play in the third quarter, and it looks like Coach Quincy Simpson has kind of called off the dogs a little bit on the backcourt press. He did that in the second quarter as he led by 23. And before the shot, it won't count. The foul goes against Middletown.
Well, that's just a great
and for
drive by Cameron.
Juwan Bailey picks up his third. I'm watching how Lima works off the ball.
Came off that high screen and took it right to the hoop.
Goes off of Jaleel King's hands. Nice inside feed and missed the dunk, but the putback is good.
Stallworth, I think, got hit right in the face with an elbow.
And he's feeling it right now.
Yeah, just an incidental elbow, but he got it hit right in the face.
I talked to Jerry Lucas before the game. I just said, what are your impressions of the new arena? And he goes, it's simply beautiful.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it all night tonight. It is absolutely, you have to get here to see it, to really appreciate how nice it is.
3-point shot taken by the Middies, Aaron Jones. Rebounded offensively by Bailey, and they're going to say that he double dribbled.
Well, great second effort by Bailey. Again, that's what you want to see.
46-23. So Lima is doubled up against our hometown Middletown Middies. Tell you what, when you see guys cover the ball with the elbow, it looks like they're going for the goal line.
Another great take by King. It was a little too quick for the Middies coming off of those high screens.
Shandon Morris picks up his first foul. Lima with a 23-point lead. Inside feed now. Turnaround is good.
Jump hook in the lane by Cologne.
4 points for him. It's 48-23.
Yeah, they really caught off the dogs here on the defensive end. Actually play more of a zone defense now, testing that out.
And Middletown with a bad pass. Nice feed down to Miller, who makes it count.
Layup, Miller.
One thing you just don't see a lot of, again, this may be old school basketball, but just faking the high pass and then going to the bounce pass on the inside. They're really telegraphing their passes.
Bailey in the lane is going to go up to the free throw line. Cologne with his second foul, and you got Bailey at the line tonight, who's 2 for 2. And he's 0 for 2 from the line. He's only got 1 basket.
Well, this is a very good Lima basketball team, and Coach Simpson told us before the game he's got 3 kids out that are going to be real contributors to this team, so they're going to be really strong here later in the year.
And the player you mentioned that's going to go down to Kentucky to play football is 6'8". So he's not playing basketball this year. Little cherry picking done by Miller, and the rebound comes out into the hands of Lima, and there is Middletown to take it away. It's Marshall going up the court.
Ball deflected out. Middletown basketball. Checking in for the Spartans. Number 2.
Corey Clare comes in for Lima, and Cologne will sit down.
See Jalen Marshall here tonight, of course, Blake's older brother, playing for the New York Jets.
Marshall inside feed, and on the take, Bailey is fouled.
Nice pass by Blake Marshall. Got the ball over the front defender, and the foul was on the backside.
Nas Cameron is whistled for his second foul, but Bailey's shot, they're going to call a held ball. He faked the shot, it was blocked, and he was coming down. He had nowhere to go with it.
Great job by Cameron. Again, didn't leave his feet too early. Was able to get the hand straight up and get the block.
Miller loses the ball right into the hands of a teammate. And Claire is going to go up to the line. I'm trying to look through the list of the biggest wins that Lima's had over the Middletown Middies. Been several overtime games and very close games. Back in 1965 and 66, Middletown beat Lima 74-55. And the big blowout was in the 69-70 season when Lima lost to the Middies 85-65. Lima is a well-oiled machine. Here's a rare three-point try that Bailey's able to get the rebound.
Again, not a complicated offense, but they execute it to perfection. One or two passes coming off the screens and taking the ball strong to the basket.
Nice inside feed to Bailey, and he has a hard time as he's being double-teamed, and they're going to call a held ball. This should stay with Middletown.
Well, the hands are so quick for Lima. Bailey doing that. All he can to get the ball up to the basket, but the ball is being knocked out of his hands right around his waist, and he just has nowhere to go with it.
I'm looking there in the time period when you played. You never lost to Lima.
Of course. What were the scores? 1979, 1980?
In 1979, Lima Senior in Lima beat Middletown by 7, 57-50, and then at Middletown thumped Lima 73-48.
Okay.
Here it's 51-24. Bailey in the lane. He'll go up to the line and shoot two.
That time he kept the ball up above his head. Take that ball as a big man, take it down around your waist. Not something that you want to do.
Well, Bailey connects at the free throw line. So Bailey able to connect there, and Middletown a little bit better at free throws. Nice strip and save by Bailey on the other end. And they're going to call the offensive foul. You can just see Jones just duck his head and put his shoulder in there.
What's the all-time record between these two teams? Do we know that?
The overall record is that Middletown leads the series 69-33.
Wow.
Almost what our score is here. Marshall lets it go out of bounds. It'll be Middletown basketball.
The Middies also miss Mumford tonight. He's one of their top scorers, has the bum ankle, had to sit out tonight.
Between 2007 and the 2015-16, they're saying there's no games between these two. I know we played them in football. But take no good by Powell, and here comes Lima quickly down court. Nice pass, can't hang on to it. Is Johnson. So Middletown able to put a few more points on the board here in the third quarter than has Lima, but certainly Lima has been in control of this since the outset. They opened up a 6-0 lead to start the first quarter, and they have never looked back.
Well, they're testing their zone defense here in the second half.
A little over-the-back call against Lima.
And the focus really is trying to get the ball down low to Bailey. they've been pretty successful doing that.
So now Coach Quincy Simpson is looking at his bench to get some of the subs some valuable varsity time. So Jermaine Daniel comes in as Cologne sits down. Of course, for the Middletown Middies, just being on the floor is valuable experience.
Well, absolutely. When you have very little of it, every minute is important.
Behind the basket shot is no good.
And compounding the poor shot with the foul.
That's Shaq Fall.
Foul is on Middletown, number 21, Fall.
We had him as 15, but he's number 21. He's whistled for the foul. 2:13 to play, third quarter, 51-26. Tonight's game is being presented by the Stratford Heights Church of God at the corner of Nelson and Brill Boulevard here in Middletown. You're watching on shcog.com, and you can, of course, watch Sunday services on shcog.com at 9 and 11 a.m. on Sunday mornings. Also being presented by Moon and Adrian Insurance Company and by American Savings Bank. Our thanks to them for allowing us to bring you some Midi magic on this very, very monumental and special weekend of basketball. As we close the curtain on the old Wade E. Miller Gymnasium, and truly, this is an arena, the Wade E. Miller Arena. Jones inside. Bailey turn around, and it seems like whenever the ball goes down low, Marty, there are 2 or 3 Lima defenders there.
Well, there are. The weak side comes over, and again, if Bailey can just recognize the situation, take the extra second, turn his body, look backside, there's a wide open Midi player for the shot. But they just get a little too quick from time to time.
Off the ball, the foul is called against Lima. I think they're going to call this against Daniel. Oh, Greg Johnson, 24, not 14 for Johnson, his first foul. 1:23 to go here in the third quarter.
The other thing I like about Coach Hoskins' team is that they never, ever try and show up the referee. There's never a comment made after a foul or a turnover. They never say anything to the player that turned the ball over, and certainly nothing to the official. So well-coached, disciplined team.
And people that know basketball, Marty, know that this is a young team with a lot of growth yet to do.
Travel.
Travel is called against Jaleel King.
Nice job by Powell. Came down again from the backside, created a turnover.
Aaron Jones across the timeline. Tries to feed it inside into Bailey, and I'm not sure if that was a bad shot or a bad pass, but it stays with Middletown. Dangerous pass, and it's taken away by the Spartans. And a foul by Fall. A little frustration right there as Middletown has just had a dickens of a time trying to get simply inbounds play done.
Well, they really have. Again, you have to recognize the fact they're young, inexperienced, but hopefully we'll see a lot of progression throughout the year.
Now a whistle occurred during the shot, and I'm not sure what's going on. Coach Simpson is trying to say something.
I don't know what that was all about.
Meanwhile, King's shot no good, and there is Bailey for Middletown. And again, Juwan Bailey, the only returning varsity player on this basketball team. Under 40 seconds to play in the third quarter. It's 51-26, Lima on top. On the dribble drive, and it is short. Lima pulls it out of there. Johnson feeds it down to King. Back up top. This is Claire being guarded by Bailey. Clock shows 15 seconds and a 5-second count.
5-second call, Middletown basketball.
So even though Middletown is trailing, nice bit of defense put up by Juwan Bailey, the 6'6 senior. Good look at Blake Marshall right there. Our thanks to our crew tonight from the Stratford Heights Church of God. Brian Lanier, Larry Ford, and Dave Beetle Bailey, a 1971 graduate.
Beetle Bailey.
Beetle played football, was a defensive back. Tough son of a gun. Off balance shot, they're going to call a blocking charge against Lima. But also Ryan Martin is here, our director and technical director. Got a couple of good guys over there, Zach Davis and Jacob Birchwell. Jacob just came down from working the UD basketball game.
They're doing a very nice job.
Keontae Powell, he's perfect from the free throw line tonight. Marty, it's just too bad there's not a way that this can continue as far as our broadcasts go.
It is too bad, especially in this new gym.
Oh, you know, a shot like that in the old arena, it would have been up in the rafters. So we've ended 3 quarters of play. We're going to step aside and take this commercial break. We'll be back with the 4th quarter after this. You're watching Middletown High School basketball from the Stratford Heights Church of God.
Protecting your financial assets is our top priority, and we've been keeping that promise since 1921. In these uncertain economic times, you don't have to sacrifice coverage to receive excellent service and competitive rates. Moon and Adrian Insurance welcomes the opportunity to educate and guide you. Improper coverage or insufficient limits can destroy a family's financial well-being. Moon and Adrian, local agents you can trust, local agents you can count on.
For more information, visit moonadrian.com.
Welcome back to the Wade Miller Arena. And sitting with us now in our broadcast central, athletic director for the Middletown Middies, Aaron Zupka. What a magical weekend this has been. I know you are exhausted, but what a great weekend.
No, I'm not tired at all. I'm actually ready to do this again. Can we do this next weekend?
Sure.
Can we change our mind and go back to Miller Gym one more time? Is that too late? I guess we can't do that, but honestly, it's been awesome. Start to finish. I mean, obviously it starts with last night with all of our alumni, those greats, the legends here, Jerry Lucas, all those guys. So, I mean, I was sat up in my hotel room last night just watching the films, the replays. I mean, honestly, it's been memorable. Something I'll never forget. I know there's a lot of people here who will never forget that moment. It's been pretty cool.
Well, Aaron, even though Middletown's on the short end of the scoreboard tonight,
yes,
this facility is getting nothing but rave reviews. I don't think you guys have missed anything.
Yeah, I agree with there. Obviously, kudos to our business manager, George Long, and obviously all the staff there with it. This has been going on, obviously, planning for 4 or 5 years. So it takes a lot behind the scenes to execute this. Obviously, a lot of little last-minute things that you didn't think of. But I mean, you look around. I don't see any other venue, high school venue like this around, and I think we're just proud of it. And it represents our community, what we're all about, and it's special. I mean, it's truly special.
Jerry Lucas summed it up very nicely. He said, "It's beautiful." Yes. And then we had Coach Jay Byrne here talking with us. And I told him he needs a kiosk up top for his donuts, from Milton's Donuts. He said, that's a good idea, so you're going to be getting a phone call on that.
Hey,
I get 10%.
I'm ready. If we could have brought some Milton's tonight, it would have made me a little happier. It would have given me a little sugar to get through the rest of the evening.
But Aaron, I had the opportunity to interview you for the job, and the one thing that really impressed us was your enthusiasm. And I know you were really looking forward to this weekend. I got to say, job well done.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It means a lot. Like I said, there's a lot of support staff that made this possible, so it's not about me. I'm really, without them and all the help out here, and we got tons of volunteers. We've got kids from Cincinnati up here, sports administration program people don't even know about, volunteering their time. So it's a team effort. Obviously, it's been a long time planning. I think it went off without a hitch. So we're just happy to be a part of this, and hopefully everyone will leave here saying this was every bit worth it as they said it would. So
tell us a little bit about your social media program that you have with the students.
Yes. Well, obviously we're very, very big on modernization in this district. Obviously our superintendent, Mr. Stiles, he's a huge advocate of that. Part of what I do, it's interactive. We want to show stuff that you can't get unless you're down on the court, you're on the sidelines, whatever. So getting our students involved, I mean, that's what we do. The reason why we do is our students. And we got to get them involved, engage them in every aspect. So social media is just a way to bring things to life. It's a different aspect. We know where things are going, so we're gonna be on the cutting edge of everything. And I think we do a great job of trying to get that information out, behind the scenes stuff, which I think people appreciate. I've heard a lot of good feedback. So.
I agree. One of the nice things that we've heard about this facility is on a baseline drive by Powell. He can't get his own rebound. And here comes Miller for the Spartans on the breakaway. 53-29. But everybody has said to us, including the coaches, this is the finest basketball facility in high school in Ohio,
yes.
Bar none.
I agree. I mean, everywhere I've been everywhere. You know, I'm from Northeast Ohio. Obviously, I spent a lot of time in Columbus going to, state championship games. But I've been around the state of Ohio, and I will say that, by far, I think what I've seen, this is the mecca of high school basketball. There's not a better place right now.
Yeah, we're talking about basketball this weekend, but some other exciting news, a new football coach for Middletown. Tell us a little bit about the new coach.
Coach Simpson is in the building. Obviously, he got a great ovation as he stepped onto the court. It's really cool to see our kids. And I think that is the trend, and you'll see he's a people person. He's a kids first guy. Energetic. I think he's similar to me. We're very energetic, high energy. We need someone to put some new life in the program. We've got some work to do. We're not going to lie. We've got some progress to make, but he's the right guy. He's got the right fit for what we need here. We got to put a good staff around him. We're working on getting this staff together, but he's got a lot of experience. He's got a great track record of being a successful program. He's that Cincinnati Hills Christian Academy. They were a state finalist a couple times. So, I mean, he's got a lot of good things working for our kids. Day one, they're going to be ready to play for that guy. So, I think you'll see a different brand of Midi football starting next year.
That's exciting.
Well, Aaron, I appreciate you coming over for this brief time. We can't say enough good things, not only about last night. Talked to Tim Walker, and he was just blown away by everything that was going on last night. He said getting everybody back together was so special and really meant a lot. And he said when he saw his dad's name on the gym, never even thought about that.
Wow.
He said it really got to me.
Yeah, that choked him up a little bit. Yeah, I mean, seeing those guys last night, Paul, Tim, I mean, obviously it's on my second year here. I feel like I've got a crash course in Mideast history in a short period of time, but you read about these guys' names, you talk about them, and then you actually got to see them last night. I was a little emotional last night, I'm not going to lie. I spent a lot of time reflecting last night and trying to soak it in, so it's great to hear that feedback.
Another steal by the Spartans that will go out of bounds. Well, I pointed up to Tim that, number one, you got all the trophies and banners and jerseys down here from last night. They were down here by 11 o'clock this morning.
Kudos to our staff. They were down at the old place 7 to 8 a.m. and got it all done without a hitch. I mean, honestly, it's crazy. A lot of people ask me, are those new banners? I go, no. It's just a new setting, and it looks new, and they cleaned them up a little bit. So kudos to our staff. Sodexo, our maintenance staff, did a phenomenal job, so we thank them, truly.
Now, are you going to bring the GMC banners down here as well?
We're working out how we're going to integrate that. Okay. Obviously, we want to keep this place as clean, as fresh. We want to be a little different than maybe some other gyms, but we want to incorporate all our history in other ways. We have 2 interactive kind of boards out there that you saw a lot of fresh out our history, so we're looking at integrating maybe in a digital format.
Okay.
So we're undecided, but we're going to keep those around and figure out how we can integrate that best. So we're not sure yet, but we're working on that idea.
Aaron Jones with 14 points tonight. Middletown trails 58-31 with 5 minutes to play in this ball game. Lima's been emptying their bench, and a nice put up by Daniel. But I pointed out to Tim that in the center of all the banners hanging up there is the one for his dad.
Yep.
And
yes, it is.
He just smiled and he goes, Dad would really have liked that.
That's probably the way it should be. I mean, you think how many years, 30 years he was coaching here, and all the kids and young adults he impacted, so I think it's very fitting, to say the least.
Well, when the buzzer sounds and the lights go off here, hopefully you get a good night's sleep.
Yeah, I will. I promise you. I'll be sleeping tomorrow, and I think I'm going to take off Monday and recoup, and I'll be ready to roll Tuesday. We got another home game Tuesday and Friday, so the fun never ends here, but it's just great to see all these people. Our students came out. Support's been great, so that's why I came to Middletown. I mean, this is awesome.
Well, personally, when I talked to you about this idea, you've been nothing but fantastic. My thanks to you for allowing us to do this.
Well, thank you guys for coming out and bringing the band back one more time for this. So I truly appreciate it. Like I said, I know I may not have been here during all those times, but from out here, this is special. So the fact we got you guys, you know it's a big deal. So.
That's right. We're just trying to figure out a way we can keep doing this.
Hey, if we can make that out, hey, I'll sign you a long-term contract. Let's get it done. Let's get some sponsors and get this done, okay?
Sounds like a
winner. You guys aren't cheap. You guys work, you guys work for your keeps. So.
We work for glasses of water right here.
Food and water, right? So.
That's right. Well, if you get the Milton's Donuts kiosk up here.
Milton's keeps coming you back. We'll have a Milton sign up here tomorrow and donuts for you. Okay? Make it work. But I appreciate you guys having me and being out here. This is cool. It wouldn't be the same without you.
Congratulations on a fantastic weekend.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thanks for your time being out here.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thanks, Aaron. Congrats.
Aaron Tupka, the athletic director in his second year for the Middletown Middies, and wow. That's all it sums it up. Wow. Middletown trails.
Game isn't wow, but everything around the game and festivities from last night certainly has been wow.
3 3-pointers for Lima. That kind of tells you something. They've got 65 points and only 9 of those from behind the arc as Marshall throws up a right-handed hook that's partially blocked. Here's another 3-pointer put up.
And a foul.
Pretty good job of acting there put on by Jermaine Daniel. He stood there and a little bit of a shoulder touch. And then he goes rocketing to the floor.
Saw a couple of these kids in the JV game. Well, 68-32. What else you want to talk about, Lenny? Anything come to mind?
Kevin Sheely, number 11 for the Middletown Middies, checks in. Well, we do want to thank Pastor Ray Phillips from the Stratford Heights Church of God for allowing us to do all of this. I want to thank American Savings Bank. They have been tremendous in allowing us to work with them, to be a sponsor of this weekend, as well as Craig Moon and Robbie Kilburn, classmates of mine at Moon and Adrian Insurance. Those are some of the 2 long-term outstanding businesses in Middletown. If you happen to see any of them from Moon and Adrian on the strip there from Lima, here's Daniel again off the glass. If you see Craig Moon, Rob Kilburn, and anyone from Moon and Adrian Insurance, or Fred DiBiase, Chuck Barton, or Betsy Rossi, just tell them thank you. You made something special. These programs will be, they are recorded and they will be on the Stratford Heights YouTube channel. And if you don't have a church, especially at Christmas time, consider attending Stratford Heights Church of God. So 2.5 minutes to play in the first ever game here at the Wade E. Miller Arena. And Lima walking away with this one. It's 70-32. And Marty, you know, we never did get a chance to say goodbye from TV Middletown because unexpectedly went dark. But, you know, officially, thank you for everything you've done throughout the years. It's been a lot of fun.
Thanks for the opportunity. Yeah, it's been great.
You know, I thought about in basketball. We got to call the back-to-back wins between Lakota East and Moeller when they were ranked in the state, and Middletown thumped them at the Wade E. Miller.
That's right. That's right.
Some fantastic playoff games that we were able to cover. We saw Bill Edwards Jr. score his 1,000 points. We saw Vince Edwards. We saw a lot of good basketball players.
We did. I thought we were going to have a couple of those teams really go very deep in the tournament. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, but we've seen a lot of great basketball players, as well as football players over the years.
I still see the Fairfield, well, he used to be the Fairfield coach. He's now actually down at St. X, assisting coaching football because his son plays football down there. But talking about Tim, he was talking about he still watches the playoff game between Middletown and Fairfield, and he still sees that half-court shot put up by Giovanni McKnight, and he still thinks it's going to go in.
I thought it was going to go in.
And, of course, the great game down at Xavier University between Wilmington, which was very highly ranked, in the Middletown Middies, and the buzzer beater. So a lot of great memories.
How many years have we been doing this together?
You actually started on the sideline reporter,
right,
when Skeeter Payne was color. So I'm thinking it goes back to like 2005, maybe 2006.
Yeah, I was thinking 2005.
It has been nothing but a labor of love, and we've met so many good people, and to all the people who have said, we miss you guys, you know, we're glad to be able to do this. As another three-point shot goes up and rebounded by Lima, and Middletown battling for the rebound, and it will go out of bounds off of Lima. But if anybody out there happens to have a spare production truck,
I'm sure a lot of people have that.
But
there's been so many volunteers over the years that have helped us as well.
And some of those guys have gone on to some pretty good freelancing careers. I think of Chad Seaball, Jacob Birchwell, who worked up at UD. I think Chad was up there today. Justin Jemison working at Xavier today. He'll be working Bengals tomorrow. And at Jacob Birchwell, he was working at, like I said, at UD. Wow, it's just been a fantastic ride. So officially we get to say, I won't say goodbye, we'll just say farewell for the time being.
Farewell, that's right.
74-32, Middletown just not able to compete with Lima tonight. Lima's size, their strength, and their speed.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with this team. You know, Coach Simpson told us before the game he goes 10 deep. He really does go 10 deep, and they're very competitive. So I see these guys having a great season and a great tournament run because they can, they're so interchangeable, great speed, quickness, just great basketball sense as well, really helps them.
Well, they play up in that Northeastern Ohio League with Toledo Central Catholic, the Jesuit school up there. A lot of schools that you would be recognizing if I could remember who they were.
Now, they were without a conference for a while.
When they were, and I will say this, they got kicked out of the GMC, and they were one of the founders because Lima was in the Greater Ohio League, which preceded the Greater Miami Conference, and it was Lima and Portsmouth were in our conference along with Springfield South.
That's right.
Lima played last night, but they're not showing any ill effects. We're under a minute to play, and Lima's going to increase to 3-0 as we've got a Middletown Middie who might have taken an elbow in the face as well. So Blake Marshall's going to have to come back in as Kenny Wilson, the freshman, will sit down with 35 seconds to go. But yeah, I think Middletown, especially the Middletown faithful who remember Lima. And we were talking to Coach Simpson about how the kids maybe don't know Middletown, but their parents sure do.
Yeah, we went up to Lima to actually play them my senior year in a horrible snowstorm. Game was over. Cars off the road. Coach Stewart called Skeeter Payne back in Middletown and said, hey, can we spend another night in Lima? And Skeeter said, absolutely not. Get on the bus and make the trek back. And we did. I think it took us about 8 hours, but we eventually made it back.
Well, this game seemed like it may have taken 8 hours if you're a Middletown Middie fan. The final buzzer sounds, and the Middletown Middies drop the home opener at the new Wadey Miller Arena. This is the biggest win that either team has had over the other. 75-32. The Lima Spartans go 3-0. The Middletown Middies drop to 1-2. So from the Wadey Miller Arena, it has been our pleasure to bring you the game last night as well as tonight here on the Stratford Heights Church of God website, shcog.com. Again, if you can't come to church at Stratford Heights Church of God, you can always check us out online at shcog.com. Tomorrow morning services are being streamed at 9-11 a.m. So Marty, any final thoughts?
Well, again, just thank you for all the great memories over the years. It's been fun working with you, and I think we got along extremely well, and thanks for all the volunteers over the years as well. It's been great.
It's been a lot of fun. Guys, we thank you very much. Our thanks to Moon and Adrian Insurance, as well as American Savings Bank, and of course our presenting sponsor, the Stratford Heights Church of God. From the Wadey Miller Arena, the Middletown Middies drop the home opener against the Lima Spartans, but there's more basketball to play, and hopefully, we'll be back to see you in the not-too-distant future. This is Lenny Robinson for our entire staff saying so long
where the Middletown Middies fall to 1-2 on this season of Middie Magic Memories. So long, everyone.